Hi, welcome to this session on CAT 2020 LRDI solutions. This is a question from CAT 2020 slot 2. This is a 6 question set. It is based on analytical puzzles, arrangements, distributions, etc. Pretty voluminous data, and the questions are indeterminate, so you'll not be able to get the exact set completely. I would suggest, in case you have not solved this on your own, please pause this video, have a look at the questions and the answer key. The link is available in the description of this video. Once you have tried this set on your own, then proceed with the rest of this session. Before I start, in case you have not done it already, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please do hit the like button in case you like this particular video. Please do comment and let us know how you liked these solutions and the ones which follow. Also, share this with your friends who are preparing for CAT and other MBA entrance examinations. You can also follow us on various other social media channels like LinkedIn, Telegram, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram. All the relevant links are available in the description of these videos. In case you're preparing for the CAT 2021 examination, do have a look at our Ultimate LRDI course. This is the most comprehensive course for CAT LRDI available in the market. We have more than 500 LRDI sets with detailed and well-explained video solutions. We also provide you with one-on-one mentoring. You get a chance to review your CAT preparation throughout your CAT journey, and in case you get stuck, you get a chance to speak with me individually and get your doubts resolved. We have prompt doubt clearing, discussion forums, WhatsApp and Telegram groups. Everything is available all in one roof. Do have a look at that course. The link is available in the description of this video. Let's get started. This is arguably the easier of the two 6 question sets from CAT 2020 slot 2. The other 6 question set from this slot was the candidates and voting pattern in different constituencies, right? So people might find this one easier compared to that because this one is a analytical puzzle with distribution as such. But as we discussed earlier, this is not an easy set per se to solve. There is a lot of missing information even after solving the entire set, and there's quite a bit of data to unravel and unpack. Let's see what this says. The humanities department of a college is planning to organize 8 seminars, one for each of the 8 doctoral students A to H. So there are 8 students A to H. 4 of them economics, 3 from sociology, 1 from anthropology. Okay, so the distribution of students is known. Each student is guided by one among PQRST. So these are professors, guides, whatever you want to call them. 2 students are guided each by P, R, and T, while 1 student is guided by one each of Q and S. Okay, so P has 2 students, R has 2 students, T has 2 students, and Q and S have one student each. Each student is guided by a guide belonging to their department. Okay, so based on the student's department, you can also find the guides department. Okay, that is fine. Each seminar is to be conducted in one of the 4 consecutive 30-minute slots, starting from 9, 9:30, 10, 10:30. Okay, so we have 9 a.m., 9:30 a.m., 10 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. Okay. More than one seminars can be conducted in a slot. Okay, so we can have more than one in a slot. Okay, we can have 4, 5, 6 as of now that we know. Okay, only 3 provided that the guide is free. So if, say for example, P is guiding 2 people, A and B, both A and B cannot be in the 9 a.m. slot. One of them will be in 9 a.m., other will be in 10, or one of them will be in 9:30, other will be in 10, whichever way the way goes, but both of them cannot be in the same slot if he's in the same guide. Okay, only 3 rooms are available. Okay, so now you have at most 3 in 1, right, are available, and hence at most 3 seminars can be scheduled in a slot, right? So you have to fill up a 3x4, which is a 12 grid, out of which 8 will be filled, which are 8 students, 4 will be blank. Okay, students who are guided by the same guide must be scheduled in consecutive slots. Okay, so since P is guided by P guides two people, the slots of P should be consecutive. So it can be 9, 9:30, 9:30, 10, or 10, 10:30. Right? It cannot be 9 and 10. Right? Cannot be a gap. The following additional facts are also known. Okay, so we have some information about these people. So let's draw this grid and then read this data. Okay, I have done this. So I've just tentatively named them as room 1, room 2, room 3. It doesn't matter who goes in which room, but just for the sake of convenience, we have done this. I've also summarized the data which is given here. Now, before we start putting up these students, let's see if we can do something with the guides as such. Now, anthropology has just one student and he has to be guided by only one, by a professor who guides only one student. Why? Because suppose there is a professor who can guide two students and he belongs to the anthropology department, then his other student should also be from anthropology department, right? In which case there will be two anthropology students, right? But there is only one anthropology student, which means PRT cannot belong to anthropology. It's only Q and S. One of these two will belong to anthropology. So one out of Q or S will belong to anthropology. Now, who will be the other? Where will the other guy go? So suppose S is in anthropology, where will Q go? Or if Q is in anthropology, where will S go? Right? Can S go to economics? If S goes to economics, right, he will be able to guide only one student. Right? But now the leftover guides will all guide two students each. But economics needs 4 students. Right? So if you give 2 guides, right, then economics will have 5 students, which is not possible. If you give only one guide, then economics will have only 3 students, which is also not possible. Which means the other person out of Q and S also cannot go to economics. He has to go to sociology. Right? Q or S will go to sociology. Right? Which means that 2 out of PRT will be in economics, and the remaining one will go to sociology. Right? 2 out of PRT will be in economics and 1 out of PRT will be in sociology. Okay, so this is something which we can use later on. Alright, so let's try to fill up the data. Seminars by students from economics are scheduled in each of the 4 slots. Each of the 4 slots, you will have seminars from students from economics. Now, there are 4 students in economics and there are 4 slots, which means each slot there is exactly one economics student giving a seminar, right? So just for convenience sake, let's call room 1 the economics seminar room, right? So economics will be occupied by room 1 and all the 4 slots are filled for room 1, right? This is done. Now, we also know that students who are guided by the same guide must be scheduled in consecutive slots, right? So, because there are only 2 guides in economics, right? Both of them serving 2 students each. The first guide will take 9 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. The second guide will take 10 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. Right? So, the first guide will take 9 and 9:30. Second will take 10 and 10:30. A is the only seminar which is conducted at 10 a.m. and A is guided by R. There is only one seminar at 10 o'clock. Which seminar will it be? It has to be economics because economics is there in every slot, right? So A belongs to economics and A is guided by R, right? So which means R will also take up the 10:30 slot. R will also take up the 10:30 slot. So R is the economics professor. R is an economics professor. Good. That's nice. And A is an economics student. Okay. F is an anthropology student whose seminar is scheduled at 10:30 a.m. So F is the only student who is in anthropology, right? And F is scheduled at 10:30, right? We don't know who the guide is, right? But F is anthropology. Okay. The seminar of a sociology student is scheduled at 9 a.m. Okay, so there is a sociology seminar at 9 a.m. There might be another sociology seminar, or there might be just one sociology seminar. Okay, there is no seminar at besides A at 10 a.m. Okay, we'll come to this later. B and G are both sociology students whose seminars are scheduled in the same slot. The seminar of an economic student who's guided by T is also scheduled in the same slot. Now, economics, T belongs to economics. So T is the second professor in economics, which means R and T are economics. So P has to be sociology. Now we know sociology, P. Okay, where will be T's students? T students will be at 9 and at 9:30. So B and G, right, will have seminars, right, along with the student guided by T. So B and G can be in 9 o'clock or at 9:30. So B and G will be at 9 o'clock or at 9:30. P, who is guiding both B and C, has students scheduled in the first two slots. Now we know P is a sociology student, is a sociology guide, right? So he has people in the first two slots. P has students in the first two slots, right? So this will also be a sociology student here. So there will be an economic student, there will be a sociology student also. All right, this is there. This is done. A and G are scheduled in two consecutive slots. Now, where is A? A is in 10 o'clock slot, right? Can G come in the 10:30 slot? If G comes in this 10:30 slot, then B for Bombay will also come in the 10:30 slot, right? But B is being guided by P, who takes only the first two slots, which means G cannot come in the 10:30 slot. G has to come in the 9:30 slot, right? G is guided by the other professor in sociology, which is QRS. In sociology, which is QRS, right? So B will come here, which means that the other student guided by P, which is C, will be in the first slot, right? Other student guided by P will be in the first slot, which means F, who is also in the last slot, will be guided by Q and S. So now we know B, C, and G are sociology. B and C are guided by P. G is guided by either Q or S, and the other one out of Q or S guides F, which means that the remaining students will all belong to economics. A is done, B is done, C is done, D, E, and H. So D, E, and H belong to the economics department. They will be guided here, right? So we have fitted quite a bit of data. We cannot do anything else with this, right? Let's write this neatly and go to the questions and try to solve them. Okay, I've summarized what I had done earlier. Okay, let's go and solve the questions. Which of the following statements is true? You want it to be 100% true. 2 seminars are scheduled in the first slot. This is definitely true, right? Just to verify, the others must be false. Only 1 seminar is scheduled in the second slot. No, there are 3. 3 seminars are scheduled in the first slot. This is false. Only 2 are there. And 3 seminars are scheduled in the last slot. This is also false. So first statement is the correct one. Question number 2. Who all are not guiding any economic students? Economics are guided only by R and T. Economics are guided by only R and T. So P, Q, and S. Option 4 will be your correct choice. Question number 3. Which of the following statements is necessarily true? Which means it's definitely true. Q is guiding G. This is not necessarily true. S can also guide G. H is an economic student. This is definitely true. Job done. Question number 4. If D is scheduled in a slot later than Q's. D is scheduled in a slot later than Q. Right. So D can come in 9, 9:30 or 10:30. Now Q slot can be either 9:30 or 10:30. Right. So D, since he is scheduled after Q, D only place to come will be the 10:30 slot, and Q comes in the 9:30 slot, which means S comes in the 10:30 slot. Right, and remaining two will be E or H. Right, this is what we have. Right, based on this, we need to check which of them is true. E and H are guided by T. This is definitely true. G is guided by Q. This is also true. Both 1 and 2 are true. Option 4 will be our correct choice. Question number 5. If E and Q are both scheduled in the same slot. E and Q are both scheduled in the same slot. That is possible here or here. Right? E and Q is possible only at 9:30 or at 10:30 if they are in the same slot. Which of the following best describes the relationship between D, H and T? D, H and T. Okay. Exactly 1 out of D and H is guided by T. Not necessarily. Both D and H can be guided by T. So first need not be true. Okay. Second one. Both D and H are guided by T. This is also need not be true. Right. Third says at least 1 out of D and H is guided by T. Now if D is guided by R, right, then H and E will be guided by T. Similarly, anyways, it is guaranteed, irrespective of what this is given, 1 out of D and H has to be guided by T. Why? Because you can place only one student here. The other two have to be here. So you can put either D here or H here. You cannot put both D and H at 10:30. So 1 out of D or H will definitely guided by T. So this is always true. You don't even need this condition. So option 3 is your correct choice. And the last one. If D is scheduled in a slot immediately before Q's, then which of the following is not necessarily true? Now, this is the flip of question number 4. In question number 4, we know D is scheduled in a slot after Q. Whereas in question number 6, it says D is scheduled in a slot immediately before Q's. Now, we know Q can come only at 9:30 or at 10:30. If Q comes at 10:30, D has to come at 10 o'clock. But at 10 o'clock, the only student is A, which is not possible. You cannot replace A with D. That will contradict the condition, which means that Q has to be scheduled at 9:30. Right? This is not S, this is Q, which means F is guided by S, which means D will be in the first slot. Right? This will be either E or H. This will be E or H. Right. Now, based on this, we need to figure out which of them is not true. Not true. G is guided by Q. This is definitely true. So out. E is guided by R. This is maybe true, maybe false. Right. So it need not be 100% true. So I need to mark this. Now, just to verify this, the other two has to be definitely true. We can verify this. F is guided by S. F is guided by S. This is definitely true. So out. D is guided by T. This is definitely true. So out. So option 2 will be your correct choice. This is a very nice question on arrangements, distributions, etc. You need to be very patient when you're solving this. There is a sizable amount of data. You first need to figure out how the slots are getting generated. Once the slots are getting generated, then you need to figure out the distribution of the professors. And then you will have economics taking the first two, and the third and fourth. So you can use this scenario that the same guide must be scheduled in consecutive slots to figure out where the economics professors lie. Once they come out, then the rest of the questions can be solved slowly. Right? It will be, you need a little amount of patience. Right? It is, as I said earlier, it is not as difficult as perhaps the voting set, right? But it will still take you some amount of work. In an exam situation, it can take you 11, 12, 13 minutes to solve this. This is a moderate to difficult level set, especially given the length of time it will take to solve it. That finishes this session on CAT 2020 LRDI solution. Do let us know how you found these particular set of solutions. In case you want to look at more such solutions, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also follow us on various social media groups. The links are available in the description of this video. Till we meet again the next time, goodbye and all the best.